Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring up our guys from Scottsdale first, and then I'll bring up our internal team second. So if you guys, and you two, my tequila brother, now I'm going to bring our guys up. I want them, come on, don't y'all call a shout. All of our Scottsdale people, come on. I want them to tell you who they are and basically just a little bit about themselves. And Mike is the brains behind this entire thing to go network marketing. He's been saying, one is the loneliest number. I mean, he's been really crazy. Renee, come on, what you doing, bro? Renee's the one who told me about him. It's so funny. We're on the phone at 1 in the morning.
10 p.m. to 6 a.m.
10 p.m. to 6 a.m. Sorry. So it's so funny. She says to me, so what are you looking to do now? I said, I want to get back to network marketing. I said, but I can't find a company. The last company I was in was crazy. I'm still hungry for network marketing. She goes, well, I got this friend. He's got this product called Noho. I said, girl, I don't look at porn sites. What are you talking about? She goes, no, it's a real product.
That's not what she said.
And, well, I can't say that publicly. But I'm just saying to you that on a phone call, she calls him at 6:50 a.m. Then he calls me about 10. We spend 2 hours on the phone. I have to apologize to my partner. You're a beautiful husband. I said, Fred, I know you don't think I'm crazy, but I found something. And that's how it happened. It was by a weird situation. But what I'm going to do is have Mike introduce himself, his wife, the team, and talk about not just how they feel about Noho, but just give a background on yourselves, please.
Well, thanks for having us. I mean, we're excited to be down here. I mean, this is really, really exciting for us. We've been stuck in kind of the corporate world, going down this path and doing what we're doing. And you know, I've always had this idea in my head. And I always believed that this gold can would change the way everything that we do things. And everything from on-premise sales to direct marketing. And it was always in my head that there was never been a product that's been brought to market that you could sit and everyone could relate to at the table. Whether it's your kid, your grandma, your kid going to college, or if you're the guy in college, whatever it may be. And that was something that really attracted me. You know, in cutting my teeth in the business, when we came out with the 2-ounce shot, I knew it was really cool, but I knew the gold can was a game changer because it's a better delivery system. It's something that, you know, most drinking is done on premise, bars, nightclubs, restaurants. And so once we knew how to deliver it, and I watched the people's faces, and everyone always had to think, oh, gosh, does it work? Sure it does, it's that gimmick. And then the next morning they get up, holy crap, that mic is, holy crap, it actually worked. And then the very next question is, where can I get it? And then right after that is, where the hell you been? I would have graduated college. So, you know, that was really the experience. And right after that, I knew that we had something special. There's only been 2 things in my life that I knew were game changers. It would change everything. One, I was very lucky. I was just young and dumb, but I was in the right place, and that was cellular phones. I knew that it would change something. This is before the internet came, but I knew everyone would have one. I knew everyone would use it. And I made a lot of money that way. Now, fast forward time 16 years later, I never came across a product or something that I knew would change everything in the game. We don't have any competition. We tell everybody we have the fastest car. We have the best driver. We're sitting at the Indy 500, and there's no cars on the track. It's time to go. Let's put a little gas in this puppy and go. And so I've been very excited to come down here and see the group and meet the founders and the rest of you. And this is my wife. Behind every great man, there's a greater woman. So I'm the wrecking ball. She's the cleanup crew. She cleans up a lot after me.
Right.
So these are our good friends as well. This is Noel and Nick, and they're down here as well from corporate as well. So give them a welcome. She's the magic that connected some dots, and don't ever underestimate the power of connecting dots. So with that being said, is there any questions that you may have for me from corporate or from that maybe John didn't cover?
I'll beat him up.
That's easy.
Hey, one thing Fred asked me to put a plug in. His wife makes the best chocolate chip cookies. Right, Fred?
Thank you.
Yes.
How can we get this t-shirt?
We're working on t-shirts.
That's actually a really good question. We have a lot of, we have a lot
Lots
of
of fun swag.
Yep, we have some great swag, as you can see. January 5th, they will come in your packages.
Right.
So
Right.
depending on where you are, you'll have your polos, you have your t-shirt, you'll have your swag and the things that you need to be successful in Warm Shop.
Correct.
Right.
You were granted this or Scott.
This company is make the drink with the OEM or is manufacturing has a company.
You guys OEM has or you guys own factory?
Oh, manufacturing. So we actually said that we don't do our own manufacturing. So let me walk through the manufacturing. This is a very good question. I think it's very important because as you get into this business, one of the most dangerous and let's call it concern is can you scale? Can you keep up with the growth, right? Because in network marketing, it's like the boom, right? And most of you have experienced that, I'm sure, in your past. Oh, the product's coming. Oh,
It's still
next- Yeah, 12 weeks, 6 weeks, right? We don't have that problem. Here's the best part. You're drinking our product right now, right? We haven't even launched, but we've been around for 4 years and we're public. That means we pull down our pants every quarter to the world and say, here we are. Okay? Whether you like it or not, that's where we are. So that's what's great. So let me answer your question. So in manufacturing, first of all, the #1 tin, which is Ball Tin. Allen Flavoring, the #1 flavoring house out of New Jersey. And then it all comes together and is co-packaged at Cold Springs Brewery in Minnesota, which they do Monster, V8, Starbucks. So on a can run, we can scale, we can do a 10 million can run one day.
Oh, wow.
We're in the top manufacturers and labels in the country. That is the one thing that we spent our money and did right because we knew what our product, we believed that much in our product, and we spent the extra money there.
He's gonna favorite it only one favorite or two favorites and all favorites?
I just saying a lot. Why don't you say
We do have other flavors that will come out. But right now, let's keep it simple and focus on the one and get that out of the way. Baby steps.
Big question.
But great question, because I think that's very important from a manufacturing standpoint. It's probably one of the best questions you could ask, because that's where people bite their nails. Well, we're making it in our garage right now, but we're going to scale. So, what other questions?
So the gold cans are going to be exclusive to the direct marketing side. Did they get pulled from the big retail stores like Bevmo and all that?
So, just so you know, Bevmo is a test. So, when we came out with our 2-ounce shot, that's what screams hangover defense, right? So that's where, like, for instance, we're the #1 shot in Circle K's, right? And you go through Total Wine, Bevmo, and go down the list. That's our retail product. We tested with the gold to see the response, and success leaves clues. So when we talk about R&D, we call it rip off and duplicate. Red Bull, which is a swear word, Red Bull went out there and they actually, I don't know if any of you guys know the story, but Red Bull failed in retail when they first came to the United States. I don't know if you know that. They actually lost their contract to 7-Elevens and they failed in the first 3 months. They reverse engineered and they went in and said, hey, let's go where the people consume alcohol. So they went on premise, bars, nights, clubs, and restaurants. And they built their empire there. And they've owned their space for the last 20 years. No other company or product has ever come in and given Red Bull any competition. Zero. Most people, I don't know if you got, the numbers that are in this field is staggering. If you look at the #1 brand company in the world, you'd say Apple, Coke, McDonald's, right? None of those. Red Bull. They own 95% of their space. None of those companies do. 95%. So you look at Rockstar, you look at Monster, they own less than 5% of the on-premise market share. That's why they were forced to go to retail. The reason why I tell you this story is there's never been a can that nightclubs, bars, and restaurants sit side by side. Red Bull's never had a competition because they locked everybody up on the contracts. We're not an energy drink. So we're the healthy alternative that mixes amazing with everything from wine, whiskey, tequila, bourbon, rum, you name it, champagne. You go down the list, now you have this upcharge, right? So from a retail space, it's very important to understand, excuse me, not retail, an on-premise account, what does Red Bull only mix with? Vodka, that's it, basically, right? So our drink And it's a premium mixer, so they can upcharge for that. On all the rest, they're losing money. They're losing money on tonic, they're losing money on orange juice, cranberry, Coca-Cola. Did they ever upcharge you for any of that? But the bar owners are losing that. Now they can have a premium upcharge. So we come through the door as their new best friend, because now they can have a 4, 6, as high as a $25 upcharge in the biggest nightclubs in the world for that mixer. It's a big deal to an owner, right? So we're their new best friends, so that's never been done. So it's really important to understand how we've evolved. But that, let me come all the way back, so I want to educate you on that, because it's important to understand. But that gold can, that was a test. It will never be in competition out there in the retail market. As long as our team does what we're supposed to, we got to go sell, right? We got to get it to people's hands. So, but there's never been a product that's ever crossed over. So I don't know if you guys understand the dynamics of that. We have that X factor. How many people have ever seen a network marketing company launch with this kind of branding up front? Celebrity influence, branding, exposure, biggest nightclubs in the world. I don't know one. I've seen a lot in my day. You don't have to go out there and sell and convince somebody that we have a brand. It's already there. That's what we took all the hard stuff out of it. Now it's time to go. All you got to do is get it in hands. How many people can throw a party in this tent? That's it. Why do most network marketers fail? Because they're not good networkers. Most people are uncomfortable going to their family and friends and saying, hey, I got this meeting I'd like you to go to at the hotel, and maybe you could sit down and spend some money and support me. But most people can't relate to that product. But what happens when you take all of that out, all the bullets out of the gun? There's always reason to throw a get-together, right? Monday Night Football, World Series this week, okay? Halloween, one of the biggest drinking days, right? You got all weekend, and they'll continue. Then it's Jenny's birthday, then it's Grandma's birthday, then it's St. Patty's Day, then it's Christmas, Thanksgiving. Go down the list. There's always a reason or a sporting event to get together, and you can create that. Anybody can throw a get-together at a party, and that's the business. Now, whether you want to go down the whole thing of the hangover defense all the way to the health aspect, that's your choice, and you can choose your demographics and who you appeal to. If I'm walking into a frat house, I know what I'm pitching. Let's get hammered on. Wake up feeling like $1 million, right? If I'm going to a business meeting, because it's cutting edge. You'll never have a product where you walk in that gives you that edge, and especially because most of us in this room, we think in our minds we're 21, our bodies just don't recover. We believe that, but we have responsibilities. We have kids, we have businesses, we have all those responsibilities. Now I can go out in the business world with my clients, have 4 or 5 drinks, and wake up like $1 million and do it all over again. And function. That's why it's a functional premium lifestyle beverage. So anyways, we're excited. We're excited. And any other questions?
I have one basic question.
Okay.
Can you call it an energy drink?
Absolutely not. We are not an energy drink. No, and that's very important. And this is where training comes in. And I'm so happy you brought that up, because I don't want you to be embarrassed by asking that. That was perfect, because this can do. Let's do this. This is really. What does this can represent? What do you think of when you see this can? Be honest.
Money.
Gold, right? I love gold. But what does this can really, when you look at it, what's your first thought?
Yeah.
Why?
Size.
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 Right? 8.4 ounce can. Okay? Why do you think we made this can an 8.4 ounce can?
Compete. Compete.
Compete, right?
Alternative.
But recognition,
Oh,
slotting,
I see.
right? So the perfect pour system was designed by the gorilla in the room, and that's Red Bull. They own the space. There's not even any competition. No one could ever come into their space. So what happens when all pouring systems on premise and in that industry is based around this pour? Not 16, not 12 ounces, 8.4. This represents 2 cocktails, right? So coming out of the chute, we didn't want to change the game. Again, remember, successfully use clues, R&D, rip off and duplicate, right? At all possible things that we can do the best, right? But that was why we came up with the can, because we couldn't go and reinvent the industry on premise. Couldn't do it. It's too big of an uphill battle, and we're in a new category. So with that being said, coming into a new category, there's a lot of education that needs done there, right? Because most people don't understand what it is. Now the first thing when people drink this, or anything in these days, right to the back of that can, they want to see what's on the back of this. Well, we're healthier, we're better tasting, and we don't have all that garbage in there. So there's no taurine, no B12s, no caffeine in this can. But it does have a banana in it, so it's a little potassium, vitamin A, zinc, magnesium, iron, prickly pear juice to flush the liver, to cleanse it, ginger to coat that stomach for nausea. There you have it. Everything that's in the IV drip line bag when you go to the hospital and you have alcohol poisoning is in this can, minus the charcoal. Won't make you eat that. And then we added those two key ingredients, prickly pear and ginger. That's our can. But that is very important because we are not an energy drink. We're a healthy alternative premium lifestyle beverage. Get used to the word functional premium lifestyle beverage because we created the category and we trademarked it. There we go. So, great question. Any others? Now, while you got me, this is the time. So, that was a very excellent question.
What the writing is no sugar, no caffeine. That this can is yeah. It's no sugar, no caffeine, right?
So no caffeine, no taurine, and no B12s. So those are the energy components that are in there. There's 30 calories, 6 natural grams of sugar. There's a little bit in there. In our shots,
sugar, right?
yeah. So in our shots that our first product that came out, there's actually 0 sugar in there and 0 calories. More concentrated. We had to have a little sweetening to mix with some of the alcohol masks, some of that, because we spent a long time and we did a lot of drinking without no flavor. So, but yeah, that doesn't scare people because it's such a small amount, which is nice. We do know that our way down the road, the ones that we want to come out with, our next line will be a sugar-free, completely.
Most people are asking, we're promoting the 2 ounce as well in our meeting, but could we actually just sell just the 8 ounces, or could we sell also the 2 ounces?
The 2 ounce will never be available in the network marketing.
Okay, all right.
So, at least for now. If we do what we're supposed to do, that could change very quickly. But I shouldn't say never, but right now, the gold can is exclusive to the network marketing. We cannot take away that 2 ounce shot because we have such penetration and contracts with the retail space. So we want to keep that as retail, which is branding and recognition and where people can go to. But we've done a great job of duplicating what Red Bull did. Red Bull went out there and they set the bar where they created a demand on premise. So the only place you could get it is a bar, nightclub, and a restaurant. We've done that. Now people are saying, where can I get that gold can? I gotta have this, right? It's our job to go out to the masses and give it to them and deliver it. And that's the exciting part. We've paved the what I want to say the gold road, not the other road. We've paved that gold road. And that's what's exciting about it. And so, you know, we've given you guys all the tools to be so successful, where most people have to go out there and say, well, it's cool, I know you've never heard of it, and it might work, and no, we've got real science, real studies behind this. You don't just walk into the biggest nightclubs in the world and slay the biggest dragons. I'm sure everyone in here has been in Vegas. We're in the biggest nightclubs in Las Vegas. We're in all the MGM. We're in the brand we just launched in Light in Mandalay, where the new nightclub they're called Light, and their new pool party, their new pool called Daylight. We're doing almost 1,000 cans a day out of the pool in the summer, and we're preset on every VIP table in Light. Where else in the world can you have that? I mean, that's what they have a Cirque du Soleil show on that nightclub. You've got Liv, then you go all the way to the East Coast. Look at Liv, we did 100,000 cans out of there last year. Do you know how much they charge for one vodka? By the way, one vodka Noho, $33. One drink, and by the way, you don't get the can. You get half of it. They did just shy of 100 million last year out of that one nightclub. You do the math, 100 cans, or 100,000 cans out of the nightclub, what we made that bottom line with revenue with that nightclub. That's just one club in South Beach. Is there a demand? Absolutely. So that it's very, very exciting. But great question about the shops.
So even though it's a different flavor,
I'm sorry?
what if you decided to come up with a different flavor? Would that be-
For the shops?
Would that open for the MLS site?
Oh, for this?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the different flavors on the
Shots,
cans.
top of the shots.
Oh, the shots? We already have 2 new flavors.
Right,
We haven't released it.
that still will be only for the,
For right now. For right there. I will tell this room, we go out there and we kill it, I'll release all the products you want your way. So,
Hey, John, you heard that, right?
I heard it. But we gotta get to work to make it happen. Okay? Any more questions from my Superman Mike?
that's it. That's it.
All right, well, let's do this. We got one more group to come out. Let's give them a hand.